Well, I admit I acted like a child following you here. But please don't treat me like one.
Very well, Miss Stoddard. How would you like to be treated?
Oh, I think she's got some ideas, Burke. I believe she has some ideas. I don't think she's going to be able to say them on a daytime soap opera in 67, though. Hello, my name is Joel Sharpton. I am one half of the Articulate Coven, and the only way that I like my shadows is dark, folks. It is time for episode 42 of our Dark Shadows Watch. This is the original supernatural soap opera, and we're watching it through and reacting to it. You can get all of our videos early and ad-free, by the way, at our Patreon, articulatecoven.com/join, $2 or more a month. Get you access to everything we do early and ad-free. Our primary podcast and most of our videos are about Anne Rice's stuff. We cover the Immortal Universe, including Interview with the Vampire and the Mayfair Witches, and we talk about her books, we talk about the movies based on them, all that and much, much more. We also, though, have a spin-off show, Flan Again, about the works of Mike Flanagan. If any of that is of interest to you, make sure you're subscribed to this channel and find us wherever you listen to podcasts if you prefer to listen instead of watch. All right, let's do this thing right now. What's going on in Collinsport?
130 years ago, the love of a man and a woman built this mansion on the crest of Widow's Hill.
Well, I mean, that and a lot of money, right? The money, mostly, more than the love.
Are you expecting him?
Well, sometime later. You can probably find him at the cannery.
No, it's a private matter.
What in the world was that clang clang? The boom mic hit the top of the set or something, is my guess.
What are you after, money?
Not more money.
Well, then what do you want?
I want to save my soul.
Well, at least she's going to let the man in and talk. I mean, we knew she was going to, because that's what we do here on soap operas is we talk. We don't talk to solve the problem. We talk around the problem. But, all right, surprising. He did go up there to see her, not to see Roger. I wonder what he's going to lay out here for. I wonder if we're going to find the specifics of exactly what happened 10 years ago. I doubt it. Episode 42 is not a round enough number.
You know, this is the first time I've ever been in this room. It's beautiful.
It's dark and gloomy, and you know it. Please get to the point.
Elizabeth Stoddard has no time for your bullshit, Sam Evans.
No, I'd like a drink. We can talk about business then later. Scotch and water, please.
Same for me.
Well, now, what have you got for me?
Just about everything you asked for, Mr. Devlin.
Good.
First of all, this is, I think, definitely the most extras that we've had in the back of a room. There's a couple there. I think there's 3 people at that table, actually, to the far back left, and then we've got 1, 2, 3 waiters in the room, in addition to our actual 2 actors here. Also, these 2, and then our 2 back at Collinwood, Sam and Elizabeth, means that we've got 4 of our 5 actors for this episode. Let's see who our 5th will be. Also, we've not met this man before, I'm fairly certain. This is our first time. Oh, of course. Our 5th actor is Carolyn. We knew that she was going to be in this one because that was the whole deal, right? She had made plans to have this big date with Burke, even though Burke had said no. She still drove off happily and then called and said she's not going to be home for dinner.
You know, Blair, the thing I like about...
This is so embarrassing for Carolyn. Like, genuinely, this is one of the most embarrassing displays I've ever seen currently.
Put in a petition for the property tax to be reduced. The reason for it was that half of the house is shut off and not being used.
And was the petition granted, I suppose?
Yes, it was.
And I'm not surprised. That family owns everything there is to own in that town.
So they own everything in town that there is to own, but they're making so little money off of it that they can't afford to heat and cool half of their home.
Won't you sit down?
Yes, I think I'd better.
If I had to be seated with one of these two parties, it would be with Sam and Elizabeth. And I gotta tell you, generally I would not choose to hang out with Elizabeth as a rule.
Now, if you are sufficiently refreshed, suppose you tell me why you came here to see me.
Why,
I am is great delivery right there, by the way. He nailed it. David Ford, I guess all I needed to be okay with him is to know that he was in the 1776 musical, and now suddenly I'm seeing them all in a very good light as opposed to a negative light.
But I didn't know anyone could sink so low as to try to sell information about someone who had done something foolish.
Well,
Please don't interrupt, Mr. Evans.
Okay, now genuinely, I am confused about who that might be because we shouldn't have a sixth actor on the show. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who's it gonna be?
Come in, Joe.
You said you want.
Joe Haskell. All right, so I guess the argument for the extra salary here is that it's 5 of the regular actors and then 1 day player. That makes me think that not Kirby. What's his name? Brunson was the other guy. This guy is not going to be around for very long. I don't think he's coming back. Is my point.
It's about Carolyn. Have you seen her?
No, but I have a pretty good idea where she might be.
I don't know that you do, Joe. I don't think he has any reason to know that Burke was going to bang her today, which means that he wouldn't have any reason to know that she was going to bang her either. But I suppose I could be wrong on that. Interesting either way, though. Man, seriously, they blew the budget up for this episode, huh? With all the extras at the restaurant and the speaking role for the assistant for Burke and Joe.
Earlier, she was in the restaurant with Burke Devlin. Later, a friend of mine told me he spotted her in her car on the road to Bangor. Well, I stopped by the hotel before I came up here, and I asked to see him. The hotel clerk told me Mr. Devlin had gone to Bangor for the day.
I'll go ahead and make the joke again. He'd gone to Bangor for the day. To be fair, he didn't. She did.
Well, there's a drink in there if you want it.
Oh, don't even suggest it.
Yeah, again, I just want to remind you that the last time this woman saw Joe Haskell in person, he was very drunk in the middle of the evening at her house, telling her and her family all off about all the things they were doing wrong. I mean, he did apologize later, but still.
Do I detect a slight note of jealousy?
Man, okay, both of these camera angles are really interesting. Or, I mean, they are to me. Like, it's just a 2-shot, right? Like, you've one focused on one, you got the back of the head of the other, focused on the other, back of the head of the original. But still, they're more dramatic, I feel like, than most TV angles are. I don't know. It's dynamic to me. I like the way the show is shot, honestly.
I came here to meet my first love, money. Mr. Blair is my banker.
Mr. Blair, that's the one.
Is it possible that you deliberately got rid of him just to be with me?
Why not? You're much prettier than he is.
Oh, but I thought you said that money was your first love.
This smooth mother so-and-so. Genuinely. Like, again, let's all appreciate the chin. And again, I'll say these two have more chemistry than anybody else on the show. Although I will say, I don't believe we've seen Carolyn and the new Sam Evans yet together. They end up married, so maybe they got the most chemistry.
Of course, it's true that I do have a fondness for the stuff, but only to buy pretty things for attractive young girls.
Boy, that line plays so much worse in 2024 than it probably did in, like, 67, huh?
Well, I admit I acted like a child following you here. But please don't treat me like one.
Very well, Miss Stoddard. How would you like to be treated?
Oh, I think she's got some ideas, Burke. I believe she has some ideas. I don't think she's going to be able to say them on a daytime soap opera in 67, though.
Now then,
Will the witness answer as directed? Where did you have lunch on the afternoon in question, and with whom?
Why, right here, with you.
Is that what you're going to answer when you're questioned by your mother, your uncle, Joe Haskell, and even Victoria Winters?
I tell the truth, unless you don't want me to.
Always tell the truth. It's much better in the long run.
First of all, it's always easier if you keep your lies to a minimum to keep them straight, right? But also, yeah, man, what a bending willow that this woman is. Carolyn, what are you doing? I'll tell the truth unless that's not what you want me to do. Ugh. Ugh.
The pen is yours.
No, I couldn't. It must have cost a lot.
Do you think I would give you anything that didn't cost a lot?
This smooth mother so-and-so right here. Like, Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Everyone should have a diary from the day that they are born. The pen is yours.
All right, it's a fancy pen. We get it. It's a calligraphy pen or whatever. I mean, I guess, I don't know, in 67, maybe you didn't have rollerballs at all. I don't know, were there ink, like, ballpoint, that's what I'm trying to think. Ballpoint pens. Were there ballpoint pens in 67? I don't know.
Are you sure Mr. Malloy isn't there somewhere? Oh, very well. If you see him, ask him to call Mr. Stoddard. It's very important. Thank you.
My guess is you're not going to see him until next episode, Elizabeth. Also, the reason why Bill is not at the office is because he's playing hooky. He got drunk with Sam Evans to try to get some evidence out of him, but also then he's been running around town trying to do your dirty work, Elizabeth, without you even knowing it. Everybody wants to take care of Elizabeth. I guess pretty soon we'll see Matthew our little henchman around the property doing the same thing.
But if he ever tells you anything about me, don't you pay him any attention.
What should he want to tell me about you?
Well, nothing, I suppose. He doesn't know anything.
Good Lord, you're a terrible liar, Sam.
He doesn't know one single thing.
Mr. Evans, I've been very patient. Now suppose you stop beating around the bush and tell me what you want.
He tried to. You cut him off.
I can't do it. I can't.
Sam Evans will come back of his own accord, and he can no longer stand keeping it to himself.
Well, that's a foreboding end to the episode. Pretty good one. And again, they really blew out the budget on that one. James Blair, John Baragray is our new actor there this week. We had not seen Mr. Blair before. Thanks, everybody, for watching this with me. I will be back immediately wherever you're watching this. You can go watch episode 43 right now and 44 as well. If you're watching these on YouTube, you can go ahead on our Patreon and watch next week's episode. 45, 46, 47 will be up on our Patreon, articulatecoven.com/join. $2 or more a month gets you access to everything we do early and ad-free. Thanks.